Perfect. Hello, everyone. So excited that you're with us, or if you're watching this playback, welcome. My name is Tanya Sheldon, and I'm so excited today that I get to be here with two really good friends and business associates to share with you the gift of network marketing and the gift of LifeVantage. This is something that has been a part of my life for decades. I was introduced to this industry when I was in college, and from the first exposure that I had, because of the people that I met, I was pretty much all in. I just really wanted to know the people that I'd met. How did they get to be the success that they were? And along the way, 7 companies along the way that I continued to try, I just really learned that if you find the right company, the right people, the right systems, and the right products, this business and this industry can really, really change your life. So, we're going to educate you on everything tonight. And we're doing this through the aspect of our company, which is LifeVantage. We are the activation company. And you're going to learn about why we call ourselves the activation company from Dr. Sarah Pace and how we're different from other people out there. But let me, there we go. So some disclosures, you're going to hear from 3 of us today. Myself, Dr. Sarah Pace, a chiropractor, and Don Bures. And we all have different stories, which is so great. You're going to hear all different aspects of how this business has enhanced our life and why we believe so much in it. But like I said, I was attracted to network marketing very early on. But along the way, when I was attracted to the idea that I could have my own business because I grew up middle class, no entrepreneurship, no talk of having your own business. Like it just was never in my mindset. All I knew was that I was made here to do something big. And when I was introduced to this industry, the one thing that I saw was this stay-at-home mom from the Midwest, this college girl from the Midwest at the time, could have my own business. And along the way, the things that I learned really shaped how I saw this and how far I could take it. So the cash flow quadrant is something I want to take you through really quick. And this was designed by Robert Kiyosaki. It's been around for decades. And it's basically showing us how cash flows through different industries. Now, a lot of people, if you look on the left side, a lot of people live in that employee quadrant. They have a job, and the time that they put into that job is dependent on how much money they're going to make, how much of a cash flow that they get. If you look below that, sometimes people are like, I don't want to work for someone. That was me. I didn't want to have a boss. I wanted to be my own boss. So some people will move to that self-employed quadrant. And this is where you really don't have any leverage because you're self-employed. So everything is on you. You must create the idea. You must create the systems. You're the one that ships out the products. And again, the time you put into it is dependent on how much money you're going to make when you do that. Now, 95% of the population lives on this left side of the quadrant, and only 5% of the wealth comes from the left side. Time related to how much money you make. We want to get you to the right side of the quadrant. And on the right side, you have entrepreneurship, you have a business owner, you have investors. This is where we get to talk about leveraging not just your time, but the time of other people. And so with entrepreneurship, with being a business owner, this is where you get to really buy into a system and have a system that works for you. And on this right side, you guys, 5% of the population lives on this right side, and they have 95% of the wealth. That was something I wanted to be a part of. I knew that I could do that, but I also knew I didn't have the ideas to create something massive to become an entrepreneur. So the fact that I could find an industry that allowed me to buy into a system that taught me about leverage and allowed me to actually create an asset to then create a residual income that continues to come into my family, that was something that I was all in for. It just took me finding the right people to support me and educate me on how to do it properly. And if you're an entrepreneur and you're watching this, we all know that multiple streams of income are a very, very good thing, because then, of course, too, you can get into that investor quadrant and put your money to work for you. So the one thing that I want to share that really kind of made sense to me when I broke it down outside of that quadrant is when we look at franchising. Okay. There was just an article here recently locally about a couple that owns some franchises. They're an ice cream shop and they have 3 of them, and they wanted to sell one of them. And they literally said, because of the time that it takes, and it was just too much for them. That is what the franchise model can do for you. Your investment is very high. You've got the franchise fees that go along with it that you're paying to the person that came up with the initial idea. You've got monthly overhead, you've got employees, you've got payroll, you've got people calling in sick. There is a lot of heaviness and a lot of weight that can come with franchising. And if it's going to be really successful and work for you, it's not just one franchise that you're going to own. Typically, it's you taking it into 3 or 4 to really get that business turning and working for you in the way that you want it to be in that business quadrant. Now, when we look at a company like LifeVantage in the network marketing space, your initial investment is very small. When you look at the investment that it takes for a franchise, we're talking about $1,000 or less. The franchise fee, well, you have a month or a yearly annual fee that is just $50. That is just for the upkeep of everything that you get when you invest into this system. And the monthly cost is just you being a product of the product. Right? There's no monthly overhead. There are no employees. There is no inventory that you have to have on hand. That was a system that just made sense to me and allowed me to kind of exhale and sit back and go, wow, this really allows me to have the kind of opportunity that someone would get from a franchise, but really be able to not just have it all on me, to not worry about what comes with that, but leverage a system that I didn't have to create, but was already in process for me. So why LifeVantage? That's the company we're talking about in this space. LifeVantage has been around since 2009. We are here because of an ABC investigative report that I'm going to show you. We are publicly traded. We are fully transparent. We have products that are so scientifically validated, it would blow your mind. You're going to hear about those from Dr. Sarah Pace. Our growth potential and the timing right now, we're sitting at a time, I believe, in the economy where people need hope. And our intention tonight is to bring people hope, to let you know you could be the Tanya, the next Tanya, that was sitting around knowing she wanted to make money for her family. She knew she was here for a purpose, but she didn't know how she was going to make that happen. She didn't want a boss. She couldn't create her own idea. She didn't want to develop a system, but how could she make something big happen for her? And I just believe we're at a time when people need to be re-educated. We want to remind you of what this space can bring into your life, and that it's as relevant as it's always been. It's just kind of become a secret again, that people don't know that for such a small investment, you too can be an entrepreneur. So I'm going to share with you now the ABC investigative report done in 2005. This is what started our company. ABC News went in to debunk the findings of a researcher and scientist that put together this product that was coined with anti-aging, and they did a blood test. And you're going to see what happened with that blood test. Now, I said it was done in 2005, right? That was over 25 years ago. But I am telling you, what you hear on this report are the same things we're hearing about in every health podcast happening today. This was so far ahead of its time.
The following video is an ABC primetime investigative report that started the biohacking revolution in 2005.
You want to get an edge on turning back the clock? Who doesn't? Well, it's no longer science fiction, but science possibility, a potential breakthrough.
It may not look like the fountain of youth,
But inside this nondescript building, I'm about to become part of an exciting experiment. For me, it begins with a blood test.
It wouldn't be the first time I've given blood for this company.
They want to check my levels of something called T-bars, which is a rough indicator of a person's actual age. T-bars can identify a condition known as oxidative stress, a kind of measure of the wear and tear on our bodies. Oxidative stress, like the rusting of an engine, is not a good thing. The problem of aging begins with the very food we eat to give us energy. As our cells burn that food, they also release toxic chemicals. Those chemicals, you may know them as free radicals, react with all the components of our cells, literally bombarding them millions of times per second, damaging all our cells. So the result? Oxidative stress, and we all have it. The body fights back with a system of defenses. It makes two antioxidant enzymes, catalase and SOD, whose job is to gobble up the free radicals before they can harm our cells.
So, doctor, how often do I take these?
And so, here I go. With that swallow, I've just become part of a potentially landmark scientific experiment. It's called Protandim, and tests have already shown that it revs up the manufacture of those good enzymes in our bodies. More enzymes, fewer free radicals to harm us. Normally, oxidative stress, measured by those T-bars, increases with age, but taking just one pill of Protandim a day reversed that trend for everyone at every age, even for an 80-year-old. So just what's in this seemingly incredible pill? Well, actually, its roots are very humble. Protandim is a combination of 5 plant ingredients. Some you may know: green tea or turmeric, a spice used in Indian cooking. Others, with Tanya somnifera and Silybum marianum, are more exotic. High oxidative stress is associated with more than aging. It's been linked to hundreds of illnesses.
It's at the very center of many diseases: liver disease, diabetes, emphysema, asthma, all of these, strokes, heart attacks.
Even mental disease.
Yes.
Depression?
Alzheimer's disease, depression.
But what about my progress? After nearly 2 weeks now, it's time to get my results. The result? My level of oxidative stress has declined dramatically. Just look at where I fall on the graph, before and after. Have we turned back the clock? Maybe not on the outside, but deep inside within my cells. Yes, indeed.
We do.
Okay. Watching this, I have so much pride that I get to tell you about this story because, again, when I saw that ABC report, I instantly thought of people in my life that I wanted to have this product. I wanted them to take this product, my husband being one of them. This product changed his life. And then the fact that I could take what was on this ABC report and they show after 30 days, they couldn't distinguish the blood between an 80-year-old and a 20-year-old. And I could take that story and make a business out of it. It's crazy to me still that I get to share this with you. It is such a gift that the world needs. So after the ABC report aired, there were so many people that wanted that product, but they didn't have the infrastructure to get it out to people. They didn't know that that would be the response. So it sat on store shelves for quite some time. They had it in the retail market to try to get it out to the people that wanted it, but it wasn't selling up to their standards. So they were going to take it off the store shelves, and they brought in a gentleman to sell off the company. They were a small biotech company at the time, but he said to them, there is a story here to be told. What if you just change your distribution model and put it in the hands of people? The board of directors we had, they were not keen on that idea. So they decided, let's keep it on the retail shelves and also put it in the hands of people and see what happens. When you love something, when something works for you, when it is powerful, you tell people. And that's what started happening. And we tripled our sales. And we took it off the store shelf, and we then became a network marketing company called LifeVantage in 2009. And now it's up to us to share this story with other people. So now I get to hand it over to Dr. Sarah Pace, and you're going to get to hear from her just how big our flagship product is and more about the story of activation and her story, as well as a chiropractor, of how this is incorporated into her practice. So Dr. Sarah, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Tanya. So I'll just give you guys a little overview about myself. So I have been a family wellness chiropractor for the past 20 years up in Rochester, New York. And I continue to pursue my education at various institutions because I am big in functional nutrition in my practice. I have been married for 18 years to my husband, Steve. I have 3 children, 23, 15, and 11. And I love to travel to warm weather because I'm always in the cold weather. And my passion has been helping people gain their health back naturally. And adding LifeVantage products to my practice and with my family and friends has truly just been remarkable and just a game changer. So I want to share first about a little bit more about the Protandim NRF2. So we can actually claim that it reduces oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days. So some of you may not even know what oxidative stress is, but we all have it because it's on, when we hold the phone, we have oxidative stress. We're breathing in the air, we have oxidative stress. The foods we eat, we're creating oxidative stress in our body. So pretty much, in my opinion, everyone needs to be on this product because it is so much more powerful than just using supplementation. And I have been using supplements in my practice for probably over 15 years, and I've had great stories. Like, we have great success. However, in the last year with activation and using these products, it has been remarkable how people have just been able to take their health to the next level. And I'll share a couple stories of that with you, but how activation is different than supplementation. So with a supplement, you're just adding nutrients to the body. So whether you're doing it through foods or a supplement like vitamin C, it's just trying to fill in the gaps of what you're lacking. And in our society, we're lacking a lot because the standard American diet, there's not a lot of nutrients, even if you're eating pretty healthy. However, with activation, we are activating our own body's pathways to create certain enzymatic reactions, to fight free radicals, and, increase our cellular health and anti-aging. So it's signaling cells to get healthier, and it's targeting the root cause versus just going after a symptom. So supplementation adds while activation actually unlocks. And that's really falls right in line with what we view as chiropractors. Our philosophy is that your body was born to heal on its own, and we just need to make sure we're allowing that to happen. And that's what activation is doing with us. So you would have to eat 400, they're good. You would have to eat actually 400 oranges to do what one Protandim is doing. So I don't know about you, but I'd rather take one pill than to have 400 oranges. I don't think I have enough time in my day to do that. So it's just so, so powerful. And I think that's why, like, I personally, and so many of you guys have seen such great success with activating people. And the reason why I joined, one of the main reasons why I joined LifeVantage was because of the science. Their products are very researched. They have over 20 peer-reviewed journals just on this NRF2 alone. They have 7 patents. You can go to PubMed and look up oxidative stress and any condition. So, high blood pressure, fibromyalgia, cancer, anxiety, depression, and you will find a link of oxidative stress to almost every condition and disease that we have in this country. So if you can get your oxidative stress levels down, you're going to improve so many aspects of your health. So this is one of the reasons why I decided to partner with this company. So what do we activate besides the NRF2? We activate our mitochondria, which is our energy cells. So another root cause of, cellular decline and cellular aging is our mitochondrial dysfunction. So people with low muscle tone, they have constipation issues, they have low speech with our kids with our speech issues. That's a mitochondrial issue. So the NRF1 will help with that. And then NAD is the big buzzword. You hear Gary Brecka talking about NAD and like the shots for NAD, where we can activate our own body's NAD for cellular health, for cognition, for longevity. And then our liquid collagen is by far the best collagen I've ever had. So it is liquid, which is more absorbable, and it has 10 different peptides. So we're activating our collagen, we're replenishing our collagen, and we're also maintaining with this LifeVantage collagen. And I will say my favorite product is the MB system. I have had great success with myself, my mom, my stepson, so many of my patients with this program. I can't say enough about it. So one of the other reasons why I joined this company is I was so frustrated with seeing all the side effects of people going on this GLP shot. And I knew there had to be a safer way for people to lose weight and get the help that they needed without risking, some of these side effects that some people were having with it. So I overheard my friend talking about it, who's a chiropractor in DC, and she was having great success. And I said, please share this information with me. I'm really interested because I do think I can help a lot of my patients with it. And fast forward, we have had some amazing results. I talk about weight loss a little bit, but more importantly, there have been so many inches lost with my people. I tell them to focus on the measurements. You are decreasing inflammation. I'm able to do labs in my practice. I've had people's hemoglobin A1C drop with this program. So it's just been truly fantastic, just getting your body to make its own GLP again, like it's supposed to. And then I don't go a day without Axio. So this is one right now. I usually have 2, sometimes 3 a day, depending on my day. But the ingredients in Axio, it has DMAE, pine bark extract, methylated bees. All of this stuff is so amazing for your brain. People that are suffering from brain fog, focus issues. This is a game. I literally have patients come in and say, whatever you gave me, this like literally turned my brain on. And then they go buy some. And then obviously the gut. I preach the gut in my practice. Our gut is our overall health. Our gut is our second brain. When we heal our gut, we heal this. So we need to make sure that terrain is healthy and working properly. So our new P84 product is amazing for activating our gut peptides. And then we have other products that aren't activators, which I really push omega-3s with my patients because most people do not eat enough fish in their diet or flaxseed. So it has anti-inflammatory properties. So we can all use anti-inflammatory agents. So I love their omega-3. It's clean from boat to bottle. D3, I live in Rochester, so I don't know about you. I see the sun about less than 5% of the year. So I supplement with D every single day, even in the summer. I love their skincare product. It has NRF2 properties in it. So who doesn't want to age backwards? Who doesn't want to look younger and healthier? I mean, I love that skincare line. I use all of it. I use the hair care. I just think all of their products. And what I love about their products is they have good qualities. They're sourced from good ingredients. And that's a big thing with me. As far as even when I was using supplements in my practice, I wanted to make sure it was from a good source. So we know with LifeVantage, they third-party test. So it's great. And they even have one for pets. So if you have animals, the Pet Tandem is an NRF2 activator. I've seen some videos. I don't have a pet, but I've seen some videos with some crazy stuff. These pets, these dogs getting on NRF2 Pet Tandem. So phenomenal. And before I turn it back over to Tanya, I just want to talk about, because that graph, or the chart where there was like 4 squares, I was that self-employed person. So the only way that I could make more money in my practice is I had to work more. So I was trading time for money. And then I knew I wanted to have kids. And so when I had my first child, I had to go back to my practice after 6 weeks so that my office didn't fall apart. And then with my second child, I had to go back to my practice after 3 weeks. So I lost a lot of time with my children as a result of that, because I was in a position where in order for me to get what I needed and wanted, it was up to me. And I didn't have that leverage at all. So I wish I had found LifeVantage and network marketing when I was in college. It would have been a huge, huge thing and a game changer for me, but I do have it now. And I think it is the smartest business model of anything out there. With traditional businesses, you have to go to schooling, you have to pay. I mean, I spent over $100,000 to start my practice, and you invest so much time and money to get the reward, where you're investing, like she said, less than $1,000. I mean, you can't beat that. And the amount that you can give back and get from this company is just incredible. And I am just so happy that I said yes.
That was awesome. Thank you, Dr. Sarah. This is Dawn Bures. I am so excited to be here with you today. I just wanted to tell you quickly about how I found LifeVantage. And if you are like me and you're not a doctor like Sarah, it's okay, because we all have a place in LifeVantage. While we attract amazing practitioners to the company because of our science, because of the fact that our products do what we say they're going to do, a lot of people like me are attracted too. And I am just a normal, working mom. I have had several successful businesses. For most of my career, I've been an interior designer. I've worked for companies and I've had my own. And much like Sarah saying, the only way I was going to make more money is by working more hours. And the sad reality is my baby is 17 and just about to graduate high school in a couple of short months. And that years of parenting my kids, I've spent working many, many hours away from them. So I really love and appreciate the network marketing model. However, like Tanya, this is not my first company. I've worked for 2 other companies prior to LifeVantage, and thankfully have had some success at all of them. I love the opportunity to help women achieve more than they, and men, of course, but achieve more than they think they can, reach more people than they think they can. And the personal development piece has really changed my life. So I am forever grateful to this business model, because I always say without it, I wouldn't be who I am today. It has encouraged me down a path of personal development and growth that myself and my husband would have probably never experienced, even though we are busy professionals. It just is something that isn't always introduced to you until you enter this industry. And honestly, we've been able to take amazing trips and experience time freedom in a way that we hadn't before. So I'm excited to talk to you today about something that's called the S curve. All businesses are going to experience the S curve. So I just want to explain to you, kind of in the beginning, how every company, every business starts in the pioneering phase. You'll see that here at the bottom left. And it's honestly where about 95% of companies fail. This is when the science is new or the systems are still being built. And like I said, that's where about 95% of companies fail. There's a lot of risk in those early years. It can honestly be a fun time to join a company too, but there is going to be a little bit more risk involved. But if the product works, like LifeVantage has proven, right, and the company does the hard work of building infrastructure, research, and leadership, I was going to ask, if you're in LifeVantage and you're on this call, will you please put in the comments how long you've been with the company? Because I think that shows a couple of things. I think it shows that people that got in early, it has worked for them and they're building businesses. And it also shows people, they stuck around, right? They're still here. You wouldn't stay somewhere if you didn't love what you were doing. You didn't know that the products work. You didn't love the company and all those things. And if you're new, we want to celebrate you too. So please put in the comments how long you've been with the company. So anyways, in the beginning, that's the pioneering phase, building out infrastructure, research, leadership, and eventually we move into what is called momentum. That's really a sweet spot. This is where growth starts to accelerate and awareness really begins to build. So had you heard about LifeVantage before you were invited to this call? I'd be curious to know. Eventually, every company reaches a maturity where growth stabilizes. It's still a great company at that point, but the explosive growth phase has maybe already happened. What's exciting, though, about LifeVantage, while we're a 15-year-old company, is that the company has spent years building that foundation. The patents, the science, the infrastructure, you get to just turn the key when you join us and have all of that in your pocket. That work's been done for you. And a lot of hard work has already been done, and you get to reap the rewards of that. And right now, with the increasing awareness around cellular health, a lot of the buzzwords maybe that Tanya shared and Dr. Sarah shared, you probably have heard those in mainstream, right? Like you're starting to hear about collagen. You're starting to hear about all these different areas of growth that you can have, affecting your health. And you're starting to hear those buzzwords, not just coming from us, but coming from other people, right? You're seeing the increased awareness around cellular health and activating science. Many of us believe we're just entering that momentum phase. For entrepreneurs, timing matters. It's not about being first. It's about recognizing when a company has done the groundwork and is positioned for growth. I want to tell you, while being a part of other companies, one is not around anymore, and one is just on the verge of tipping. We only have about 70,000 consultants in LifeVantage. But we're in 20 some countries. Right now, our team personally has broke into Australia. And I had a call just the other night with a girl that she's recruiting in New Zealand. And in this city that she lives in New Zealand, it's called Christchurch. And somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but they have between 400,000 and 500,000 people in this city. There's only 7 people in that whole city that are LifeVantage consultants. So the potential and opportunity in that city alone, and in all of Australia, there's only 3,000 consultants. So while there's huge opportunity in my backyard, not, my neighbor next door, should learn more about LifeVantage. There's huge opportunity around the globe. Next slide, please. Okay, so what else can we activate? Tanya, am I running here or are you? Sorry, I don't want to take over.
No, I got you. Do you want me to go back?
No, were
Okay.
you taking these slides or am I?
Oh,
Sorry.
go ahead. You can. You're a co-host.
Okay, sorry. Just so you all know, I just got done with a massage, and so I'm just rolling. And so anybody can do this job. So evolve and earn. What else can we activate? So here's the deal. In LifeVantage, you get paid for gathering customers. I know, it was great, Kristen. You get paid for building a team. You get paid for helping to develop other leaders. You get paid on what the company has already done, like I mentioned. For a 15-year-old company, that trust that's been built in our products, the science, the patents, the leadership, all of that work, while I just joined less than 4 years ago, I'm reaping the rewards of the hard work that the pioneers have done before us. Next. Oh, thank you. The great thing about this opportunity is that when you get in and you join us as consultants, the things that are done for you. So sometimes what might hold you back is like what you have to do to keep a business running, right? But what is done for you? The shipping is done for you. The inventory is done for you. The invoicing is done for you. The website is done for you. All of your business metrics are done for you. Show of hands, who's ever owned a business like brick and mortar or any type of business. I've owned several. My last brick and mortar business was a boutique. I had to purchase and plan for every single product that came into my business. Then we had to sell it, right? We had to build a force to sell the products. And then we had to ship them if they were sold online. We had to do an inventory to make sure things weren't walking away from us. If somebody bought a product online, of course, we had to collect the money and do all the things. I had to pay all the bills, right? I had to keep the lights on, the internet working, upgrading systems, making sure a website worked for people to shop and consume our products. And then at the end of the day, you have to make deposits and you have to make sure there's money in the bank and you have to pay the credit card bill and and all the things. That's all done for you here. All of that is done for you. You just go find the customers and we'll ship the products to them. I mean, I have nothing to do with that, but they will. So this is a beautiful business model and why I love it so much. That's the power of leverage. And you can work for income or you can build a leveraged income. I was working for income as an interior designer and as a realtor and as a business owner. I was working for that income. And there was a few days I got to take off and people were there and I paid them a wage. And that was a bit of a leveraged income, but there was no guarantee at the end of the day that I'd be in the green, right? If you plus 9 others, let's talk about the math here really quick. If you plus 9 others, so that's 10 of you, each serve 10 customers, that gives you 100 customers that you're collectively serving. First of all, your heart's going to feel amazing, right? You're going to feel really good about helping 100 people together. But you alone did not serve those 100 people, right? You had 9 friends that did it with you. You helped to build leaders who did. That's leverage. So here's our income disclosure statement. And this shows you what the green box there is the average monthly commissions paid at the rank. So every month we all start as consultants, and then you have the opportunity to build through the ranks. We're going to highlight 3 key ranks here: Senior Consultant 1, Managing Consultant 1, and Executive Consultant 1. You can see the average monthly commissions or paycheck that these ranks enjoy. At the Senior Consultant 1, you're probably making enough money to pay for your own products and a little bit more, depending on what you're on. But if you wanted to make $316 a month through an investment, you would have to have over $75,000 cash to invest and be yielding a 5% return. You move up to Managing Consultant 1. That is $10,000 collective business volume every month. That is something that's so doable. Your paycheck would be about $1,700. This is significant income, right? So you and some friends are working LifeVantage, you sell $10,000 a month. If you wanted that $1,700 a month to live off of, you would have to have cash, $417,000 at a 5% return to get that same amount of money. That's a lot of money to invest. Very few people, I would venture to say, have that much money to invest. And then the last one we're going to talk about today is Executive Consultant 1. That is one of the first elite ranks in the company. Not really, but it's what we call an executive rank. That is $80,000 flowing through your business. That is doable for every one of you here on this call. To earn that paycheck, get that number right at the bottom of your screen, $3 million to invest and get a 5% return on your money to live on that $14,000 per month. My gosh, you guys, how good does this investment opportunity look to you right now? So the way you join us is by enrolling on a pack. We really encourage you to get in where you fit in. You might want to start with something like the Healthy Glow Enrollment Pack. That's $225. On up to the Business Enrollment Pack. If you're wondering what you should do, I would encourage you, if it's something you can do right now, I would get in on the Business Enrollment Pack. We have amazing products. You will get to experience most of them in this pack, and it is a business write-off. I'm married to a CPA, so everything's a write-off, but this for sure is. With that also, I just want to say you would get 2 tickets to a live event that LifeVantage hosts. We host a couple a year. The next one's in April in Las Vegas. You could join us at that event. Your tickets for that event would be in that pack. So we would just love to have you join us. We have several packs. We just wanted to show you 3 here. So get back to the person that invited you to this call to figure out what's best for you. But if I could encourage any of you, I would say get that Business Enrollment Pack. And then you subscribe with a stack. These are going to be the products you want to consume every single month. You can see right here, maybe you're not ready to run full force like the 3 of us women here have on this call. Maybe you just want to get in and kind of get your feet wet. Look at the savings you would get every single month on the products you want to enjoy for yourself. That Healthy Glow Stack, my husband and I and our kids are all on that pack right there. We need that savings every single month as we enjoy these products. Okay, and so Tanya and I just have had such fun doing these presentations with you. And we just want to encourage you and kind of inspire you to think about how far you can take this. How far can you take this, right? Maybe travel is something you've wanted to enjoy, but it's been one of those things you just couldn't quite do yet. We have great travel opportunities. This year alone, Canada and Turkey are trips that we have the opportunity to earn. And then we also have an amazing opportunity called My Life Venture. And that is when you hold a rank for a few months and you have the opportunity to earn a Jeep that's paid for. In my first company, and just 12 years ago, I earned a car. But what I want to tell you about that is it was fun to drive. It was a BMW and it was so cute. But I had a lease payment on that car. And many months I did not earn that rank. So I didn't get that payment. They didn't send me the cash to make my lease payment. But you know whose name the lease was in? Mine. So while I didn't have the money to pay for the lease, I still had to come up with the money to pay for the lease. These Jeeps were ours free and clear. So that to me is just, that's freedom. That's travel. That's, really just something to work hard for. And so anything you want to say about that, Tanya? Otherwise, what I would say is get in where you fit in. Get back to the person that invited you to this call, and then let them help you build a business, because I know everybody that has invited to this call would just love to lock arms and take you to the mountains of the world. So thank you so much for your time today. We appreciate it, and have a blessed weekend.
Everybody have a great weekend. Thanks, Dawn. Thanks, Dr. Sarah. Bye,
Thank you.
everybody.
Bye, everyone.